Hey guys, it's Chris and welcome back to Something Else Equipment. As you know, I repair a lot of computers and mainly vintage Commodore Amiga machines, and I'm always going through various machines, as in solder stations, solder suckers, power supplies, hot air machines, and I have a variety of different ones that I currently use. I have been in the market, and I've mentioned in the past, due to my filming schedule, you might see mentions of me inquiring about a new soldering station as my videos come out in the future. But I wanted to get this one out right away. This is from a company called WEP, W-E-P. Could I have purchased a Hakko or a Weller for super duper $500–600? Of course I could. But I enjoy getting more bang for the buck. So I checked out WEP's website. They have a variety of products that I am interested in. So I have this one. This is the model 835D 5A2, and it is a hot air SMD rework, reflow, removal, soldering station with a drop-in holder and solder rod, and also a 30-watt power supply, positive, negative, and USB. That was critical for me too, because the only current one I have only goes up to 7 or 8 volts. So I've already cracked into this to get the 1-year exclusive USA warranty. And, I guess it covers wherever you're going to purchase in your country from. And, yeah. So I'm interested in a couple other of their products too, but I wanted a digital rework station. I have all knobs and no presets, and it's a lot of stuff you got to go through. And if I can get something that can work really well, I figured why not. So made the plunge. This is it. She was a couple $100. So I'm going to go over what the manual says real quick on the specifications that I read on their website, which I have behind me, and we'll take a look at in just a moment. So the hot air rework station has a brushless motor. So the hot air reflow will go from 100 to 480 C metric. That is 212 to 896 degrees Fahrenheit. Way hotter than my other workflow, my Xeni. It's LED, which is great. The soldering station goes from 200 to 480 C. That's 392 to 896 degrees Fahrenheit. That means you will be able to burn pretty much through any solder, concrete or not. LED display. It only has 2 ohms of resistance from tip to ground. The power supply is DC from 0 to 30 volts. That was cool for me. 0 to 5 amp adjustable. Voltage setting accuracy is 0.01 voltage. So that is a pretty accurate display. Amperage accuracy is 0.01 amps. I wanted something that wasn't so big. That other unit I have, that Xeni, it's humongous, it's metal, it's heavy. It doesn't need to be all that with modern technology. In a digital one, we can get a smaller footprint. So this unit only measures 10 inches by 5 inches by 7 inches. So that's perfect. That'll fit right here on this desk, and I can have one station to rule them all. So let's go ahead and open the box and go into the product itself. So here we go. We're just opening this up. Now the only thing I've done is I looked at the hot air wand. Packaged pretty well. Foam insulation all around. Like I said, I pulled the hot air bag off because I wanted to see the plugs. Standard hot air gun, 100 S118. It says on it, says hot. Takes the normal hot air tips from all the different manufacturers. I like how the plug is removable. So that, first off, is a positive. Second is the soldering wand. I'm going to be using this a lot. It has a silicone grip for your hands, WEP branded. Flutes for airflow. Tip cover, silicone, nice. Standard Hakko tips, that's what is the 900 series 6.5 mil. I like the vented flute, that's this thing. Standard tips, ceramic insulator, should heat up really nice. One thing I do notice you have to be careful of is when you're removing this collar, sometimes you can remove the handle itself, so just be cautious of that. You don't want it to separate and make it feel all weird. I do like the silicone. My other ones are either generic rubber or some kind of silicone rubber that ends up sliding off of the hand wand. Again, removable plug. We have some hot air collars. These look a little different because they actually have a screw in. A lot of times my collars on the cheaper units are a just snap and twist, and they end up getting like thermal locked to the metal and you can't get them out. So on the hot air here, there is no flutes to like lock it into. So it does have like a little screw thing you have to put in. I don't know if that's a positive or a negative at this point. I'm just mentioning it. This is a side mount for the unit when we get the unit out. This is a cleaning tool. Important part to me. Now I've 3D printed from help with others' designs to have solder spools, but it's always a pain in the butt having something all over the place and my hands are in use. This is what's really cool to me. The solder holder, the iron, the rod, the wand holder. Now I haven't put it all together, we're just unboxing it. Number one, a removable tip cleaner. Water sponge, silicone ring to prevent you burning stuff. This whole cartridge is actually removable, I believe. Yep. Sticky on the bottom so you can swap these out as needed. That's pretty cool. It's some kind of hard molded plastic, but it does give you spots for extra tips. This simply goes in here. This goes in here. Locks in place, doesn't fall out. This then slides right into here, and now my solder can flow easy. Yay! That is epically wonderful for me. I love that part. Although my cheesy 3D printed one has served me decently well, this looks kind of blue on camera, but she's purple as purple can be. Here is our clips for the power supply with alligator clips. Unit out. Look how nice and compact this is. Number one, this is light. This is like pinky finger light, and I like that. English instruction manual, not multi-language, just one, the only one you need. Instruction manual gives you all the Hakko compatible tips. Yep, 900M series, 6.5 mil standard, and also the nozzles. Even has a BGA tip. Not that I would ever try BGA reflow from a hot air station, but I guess with, that high of a temperature, 900 degrees, yeah, holy crap. This unit is suitable for chip, QFP, PLCC, BGA, SMD, SOIC. Wow. Specifically suited for desoldering inline sockets. Heat shrink, drying, paint removal, glue removal, defrosting, preheating, glue soldering, and more. I'm going to need this thing because this has a bunch of science and technology in it. The airflow has two screws here for the wand where you can rest the wand in. I don't know if it has the magnet inside. It looks like it does have the collar to sense when your wand is reinserted to initiate the cooling cycle. It's just two screws that come in the unit. Unit's tight. That way the soldering or the hot air wand will sit in here like this, and then it knows when you're cooling it. What did I drop on the floor? So it only comes with this one soldering tip, okay? The Hakko wand with its rubber thing and the wet rod. They're freaking almost identical. Same collar. Let's do a tip interchange. So we'll take the wep flute thing. This I like better. So here's the tip. On the back of this unit, you can put your tips in here, like so. My Hakko micro tip goes right on, and it's the same exact tip. So Hakko tips are perfect. I'm going to leave my Hakko tip on here, and we're going to save that one for later. So turning the unit on, the fan comes on, and the unit blinks. Power for solder station. We have power for, I guess, the main unit, and power for the air. So we'll press the center one. That's the power supply, 30 at 5 amps. We can adjust the amperage. We can adjust the voltage. Holding the unit in will give you faster down or faster up. 3 volts. I can store this as a favorite by pressing 1. Now I have 1. I can press 2 and do another voltage. let's say 9 volts. Press 3. Now I have 3 favorites. Now I didn't set any custom amperages. It tells me exactly what we're getting on the output. We are not making any current right now. 24 volts is available. I can crank this down on output voltage. Then, whoops, I turned it off. Output, channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. Great. Favorites, 1, 2, or 3, and then hit output. Current. Tells me exactly what we're doing in volts or amps. That's great. Turn that off. Turn the hot air on. 572 degrees Fahrenheit. Simple adjustment down for fan speed, F. I'm not taking it off yet. Channel 1, we can preset a temperature. How about that? You guys in the metric world are freaking out. I can switch this between metric and Fahrenheit. I know it's Celsius, I just like to mess with you. No big deal there. I'm gonna grab the stick. Ooh, that gets hot quick, man. Look at that. Fan control is by the knob. It's smooth. It is not. There is no vibration in my hand. There's no. I mean, it's at temperature right now. Woo, man. My other unit, it takes forever. I can hold my hand on it and be like, this ain't melting skin. This will burn my freaking flesh right off. That's great. I'm going to return this collar and see if it goes into a sleep mode. Yes, it's doing a cool down. It cuts the heat off and allows cold air to go through the unit to cool the unit itself. And it should auto shut off and go into a sleep mode when it hits 200 degrees Fahrenheit. That's great. Grabbing the stick. How long does it take to heat up? Back to 450. Done. Done. That is freaking great. Put it back in the stick. Back in the collar. Like I said, the magnet thing. I heard something click when it turned off the heating element to the unit. Should shut off around 200. There we go. So it's always kind of ready. 3 favorites. And if you're not using this unit, you can even unscrew the plug and remove it. That's a plus for me. For this, I'm actually going to build an Amiga 4000 tower rear I/O port because I have another repair for a 4000 tower where I'm going to need to solder some components in. All different chips. So we're going to do the SCSI connector because that's going to be simple and I got to do it anyway. It's all in Fahrenheit, so my temperatures may not be your temperatures. We'll do 555 and 750 for barbecue. So first off, we're going to do 572 degrees. Wow, that's already too hot and it's cooling itself down. Interesting. Cool. So I am left-handed, so I may be in your way, but I'm going to move this tip, which does have water in it, so I'm going to test its cleaning capability on this dirty Hakko tip. I'm watching the temperature gauge. Copper is smooth, and wow, look at that. That cleaned up like a brand new tip. Well, hold my hand. Maybe I should do that more often. Either that or this metal is just really good copper. That cleaned up like brand new. Can you see that? That was live on camera. Look at that. That cleaned up freaking great. This tip was crusty as an old shoe. Alright, you won me over right there. I know. I'm so used to looking for solder and things. Helmet goobers going on. And we're going to zoom in to this product here. This is just a 50-pin SCSI connector that I'm going to use the roll. Oh, that's so nice. Here we go. Sorry if there's a weird angle. I just want to see how she flows. Perfect. Now, I don't run super hot on solder, okay? I don't. Because the solder I'm using is lead and tin, and you don't need melt your face off heat. I like this cleaning stuff. I'm going to switch to channel number favorite 2. 666 degrees because we need the power of hell to build parts for an Amiga. With that soldered in, we're going to do a tip clean again. So a little bit of wetness, cool her off, and hit it with this insert and give her the old Mona. Perfectly clean, not burnt or nothing. I'm going to leave this on 572 degrees Fahrenheit. Putting it in here. I want to see if this melts, because if it melts on the first day, hey, it's got a 1-year warranty. We're going back. This was in Chino, California. I guess Chino is close to China. It took 2 days to get here. So 2 days from ordering it, here it was. It wasn't Amazon Prime. It was right off their website. PayPal. They accept Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, even American Express if you feel like paying a whole bill at the end of the month. Alright, so she's sitting at 572 degrees. I'm going to feel this thing at all. Cold as your refrigerator. Sticking my hands all over it. Bottom, nothing. So this tip, this collar holder, whatever you want to call it, number one, it's not hot. I can grab it all the way up. The vented design really helps keep the heat away from the user's end and keep the heat into the tip. I like this a lot. Other manufacturers should do the same thing. How did the solder turn out? But for a quick test on one row, they turned out pretty nice. Now remember, I did a low temperature and then I did a mid temperature. So half of it was done on 400. There's a little boop right there to clean up. And half was done on 666 Fahrenheit. It turned out pretty good to me. Sorry for any focus issues. You know my camera is just top quality. So it looks like I have a new solder station. Digital. There's all sorts of magic that this instruction manual that I'm going to have to really read to see what like preferences are and audible beeps. And you'll see here my soldering iron is on. I am set for a temperature of 570, let's do 5 degrees Fahrenheit. It clearly shows you F or C. As it heats up, there, it's ready. When the blinking dot starts blinking, that means you are at temperature and ready for use. If I was to lower the temperature, this will slowly cool. You'll see it start to drop. When it's at temperature, it drops pretty quick. It will blink, meaning it's ready to use. I just blew on the tip a little bit there to help her out, but she cools fast on her own. Boom, ready to go. Let's see how it is when I hit a favorite. We're going to go to channel 2, crank her up to the devil. That's a quick increase in heat. That's what I'm looking for in a solder station. I want it to increase temperature very quickly. It's checking itself. I like how it stops and checks itself. Is it ready? It's ready. You know, the max it can do is 900. I'm afraid to push it that way, but I don't think well, hell with it. Let's let her rip. I want to see if this thing what can it do? Alright, let's let it eat. 896 degrees. That is freaking hot over here. That is 480 degrees metric. That is one hot soldering tip. Now let me put my fingers all over the holder because it's important. You know, safety is important. Not even an ounce of heat at all. I'm on the bottom, I'm on the sides, nothing. And it's just sitting in there. You know it's hot because my clear tip is just turning brown now. Let's see. Cool it off on the soldering. Yep, it's starting to heat up again. It's blink. Wait, not blink. Okay, now it's blinking. Yeah. Alright, we're going to cool this back down because that's a lot of heat for me and I don't want to use it that hot. To wake the soldering station, you can shake the soldering iron a couple times or press any button on the panel. We have to set a preset for that. It doesn't come like that factory. if the temperature is still blinking, if this is still blinking, it's how is it sleeping if it's still on? Hmm. Well, it says sleeping, so I think it's been sleeping a little while now, maybe a minute. I'm going to shake the soldering iron and see if it comes out. So that's kind of cool. I guess the sleep feature is a nice thing for me, and I'm going to leave it at a couple minutes because it will extend the life of the tip. It will extend the life of the unit with it not running. It does have a thermal fan inside if it gets too hot on its components. It will kick on. So let me just go over the features. I'm not going to review every one. Fahrenheit or metric buzzer switch, automatic or manual mode, hot air, pick it up, starts rolling. Sleep mode for the soldering station, which we just tested. Output holding for the power supply. Hot or cold air flow for the reflow. Zero air protection. If the hot air gun stops putting out air abnormally, the system will cut power to the heating element, preventing damage to the hot air gun. 3 presets for each feature, and it has overheating protection and power supply protection. The smart cooling fan will activate when the internal temperature of the unit reaches ADC, which is approximately 175 degrees Fahrenheit. The power supply will stop outputting when heatsink's temperature reaches 92C or 197. This prevents component damage or overheating conditions. There's some basic maintenance on the soldering station, hot air station, power supply. Tells you don't charge your car battery on it. This is funny, but I guess you have to do this nowadays. Do not put the hot air gun against your facial parts. I'm not kidding you. Facial parts. Be aware of the dangers of burns. That's it. So that's the WEP 853D 5A 2. How much was this? And I'll link all this in the description below if you're interested, if you need a really good soldering station. There's many out there, but this is the one that I chose. So this one was $229 US. It's not the cheapest in the world, no, but you get what you pay for. They have many products. You don't have to just buy this one. There's small ones. I like the handle. $45, $99, $99. Here's another one, the 2-in-1 workstation. And they had one like the desoldering gun. I want to check out that one, so I might be getting that one soon. The desoldering gun is what I'm really looking for. This would have been perfect minus hot air. 139 bucks, and I might grab this one too. That is definite for me because I need something really nice for that's okay, soldering iron. So solder and desolder. I think I might get this one too because you know I use desoldering a lot, so that's going to be something that I have to check out myself. 139 bucks. Add to cart. Cool. Not checking out yet because y'all see my PayPal information. So the pimped out 853 D5A2, it's the one we just reviewed and went over its little features. I'm happy with it. You're going to be seeing it more and more on this channel. I've always heard the old saying that you get what you pay for. So we're going to see how this holds up over the years, and it has a warranty, and you know, you get one soldering tip. That's fine. I have tips, so keep that in mind if you're going to be doing some serious different tips. You're going to need an assortment of different tips. I have a whole bunch of soldering tips. Standardized tips. You can go out to any store and just buy a solder tip and use it with confidence with this machine. From the little bit of testing that I've done soldering this pin header in on this SCSI connector for this board that I'm going to finish building off camera, It did very well. Now, how accurate are those temperatures? I really don't know based on the 10 minutes that we used it. But from the comparison of what I run on my other machines where they have no idea what temperature they are, and that is a named manufacturer that I have to crank the thing to 800 degrees to get 300 out of it if I'm lucky. This digital control, it just seemed way better to me than the premier manufacturers. If you're interested in checking out WEP, it's weptools.com. I'll link it in the description below. They have a wide range of soldering products from mild to wild. I'm finished my checkout with that desoldering pump, and that is an important thing for me. So look for that in the near future, but you will be seeing this in the future. I just wanted to release it quickly, and in my future videos you will hear me continually complaining that I need a new soldering station coming soon. And then you'll see me flip to this, but I wanted to get this out to you guys just to let you know, hey, I got a new soldering station, and we're going to be using it with the repair videos. And I'm so far from the initial usage, I'm pretty impressed, but I'll keep you guys updated. So if you're interested, check them out. Links are in the description below. Thank you guys for coming along on this quick review. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?